Hello there! This is LEGO Dynasty, and today I'm bringing up a topic that I feel needs a bit more awareness in the Canadian LEGO community, and that is how LEGO is really inflating its Canadian prices for specific sets, ones that typically fall under 18+. In making this video, I want to explain exactly how, as Canadians, we are kind of getting screwed over and how sets are being priced, how it is specifically targeting the older fans as the sets that are inflated have consistently been part of LEGO's 18+ lineup, and what I feel needs to change regarding that. I have posted about this on other more popular YouTube channels such as Brixie, MandRProductions, Solid Brick Studios, among other channels, and one of them actually did respond to my question about it, which was Ryan from MandRProductions, who responded to my comment, or I guess question, about it in one of his Q&A videos. With his permission, I will show the clip now.
Long one here from John Doe. You can pause if you want to read the whole thing. I'll just give you the gist of it. He says that the Bad Batch Shuttle in the US is $100, and if you translate that to Canadian, it's about $120 Canadian, but LEGO is selling it for $140 Canadian, which is like $120 US. And the true basic answer to this is I don't know. I don't know why this set specifically is so exorbitantly higher as far as a conversion rate. You're basically paying 40% extra as a Canadian versus what you would pay in America. I know Canadian sales taxes aren't included in the price, so that's not the answer to this mystery. There is precedent for these $100 sets being $140 in Canada. In fact, last year's summer 2020 Harry Potter lineup included two $100 sets, and both of them cost $140 in Canada. Now, it's also worth noting, I suppose, in the Harry Potter realm of things, that the 2018 summer set that was $100 was $130 Canadian. So you can see this slight increase in the gap there, and I'm not sure why. The way I like to think about this with these conversion rate things, and maybe you don't like to think about it this way, but I think it's a very fair way to think about it, is you win some, you lose some. For example, Darth Vader's castle is 150 Canadian, only 10 Canadian more than the Bad Batch Shuttle, versus the US price, which is 130, and that's $30 US more than the Bad Batch Shuttle. But if you do the conversion right now, the 150 Canadian dollars is only 124 Canadian dollars, so you're saving $6. I know that's not the $20 that the Bad Batch Shuttle is, but the UCS Millennium Falcon is even $56 less than the US price when converted. So, like I said, you win some, you lose some. They seem to just have a thing with making these $100 sets currently in the US end up costing $140 in Canada for whatever reason. So as far as I can tell, this isn't something that's out of the blue. These conversion rates have never been perfect, and they never will be perfect. I'm sure if you compare the Canadian price to other prices converted, you're winning that battle. At the end of the day, one price somewhere will be lower than all the others. Is that the case with the Bad Batch Shuttle in the US? I don't know.
Special thanks to Ryan for letting me use that clip. Link to that video and his channel is in the description below. So Ryan brought up some interesting points. So I asked him, I believe, just after he had left the LEGO Ambassador Network. So I was basically wondering if he had any perspective on how LEGO sets their prices, and he does bring up some interesting points about the two larger UCS sets being a bit cheaper to purchase in Canada. So getting back to what Ryan mentioned earlier about how Canadians do get significant savings on the UCS Star Destroyer and the UCS Millennium Falcon, which at the end of the day is fair. At exchange rate price, it would have put the set well over $1,000 Canadian. And I'm just going to assume LEGO didn't want to have a set that expensive, so they decided to, I guess, lose some money, as they probably felt the set would be too cost prohibitive to buy in Canada. So that set, specifically the UCS Millennium Falcon, is one of, if not the most expensive LEGO set that is still on the market. So I'm not sure if one set should really impact all these other sets that significantly. And again, I would argue that they kind of make up a lot of what they lose on the set, on all these little sets. They're bringing a few dollars more in Canada than in the US. You know, you sell, say you sell 10 Millennium Falcons and you lose about, I don't know, $50 per set, just as a random estimate. But then you sell, say, 500 501st battle packs. Then you're kind of going to see, by getting that extra $3, 3 times 500, that's $1,500. You know, and obviously I know it's not like that, but it's just, I just kind of showing you how LEGO is still making more money on average on every single LEGO set in Canada, aside from a select few And that's without even going into whether or not the sets are overpriced. Cough, cough, UCS Star Destroyer. Yes, price per piece is not the right way to judge a set, but having a set at $849.99 in Canada and $899 in Canada, you'd like to see a bit closer in piece count. One is at almost 6,500 pieces, the other one is just below 5,000. And that goes for like the US price as well. I, in general, feel the price of that set is too expensive. And again, not saying price per piece is a perfect measure for estimating how much a set should cost, but one is back to a discrepancy. You'd like to see that discrepancy shown in the overall price of the set. But getting back on track, like I said, let's be honest, if a set is priced at $300, it's far more likely to sell than a set at $800. So you could assume that the UCS Tumblr, I know I keep calling it UCS Tumblr, but it basically is, if we're being honest with ourselves, far more likely to sell more units than, say, the upcoming UCS AT-AT over the course of its lifespan. And again, we don't know the price of that set, but I expect it's going to be comparable to the UCS, larger UCS sets that we've seen before. Now, I'm going to specifically look at sets released in the last 2 years, in 2020 and 2021. This practice may have happened in previous years, but I noticed it most in 2020, and it so far has carried on to this year. And since most popular LEGO sets in LEGO's calendar only last up to 2 years, I didn't want to go and look at retired sets and factor in inflation for this video. This video is specifically about LEGO's recently launched 18 plus sets lineup, which is sets targeted towards collectors and adult fans of LEGO. So before I continue on, I should also mention that I know exchange rates change and fluctuate a lot, and this can impact the worth of the Canadian dollar compared to the US dollar. I also know that LEGO likes round numbers. They aren't going to sell a 501st Battle Pack for $37.82 in Canada. And I'm not going to complain about a few dollars being more expensive in Canada. It's when these sets are significantly more expensive, say $10, $15, or even $40 more for us to buy in Canada, that I begin to take an issue. And yes, there is a set in Canada that is $40 more expensive to buy in Canada than it is to purchase in the United States. And that set is the UCS Gunship. This set retails in the United States for $349.99. Factoring in conversion rates, a Canadian realistically probably should have expected to pay about $449.99. The actual conversion when making this video is about $444, but like I said, LEGO likes its round numbers for its sets and would likely increase them price in Canada by about $6. But in actuality, this set retails in Canada for $479.99. That is a $36 increase, roughly, so, or at minimum $30 increase than what a Canadian LEGO collector should have to pay to buy this set in Canada. So, before making this video, I ended up messaging the LEGO group through their contact form, and this was the response I got. So they start off saying, thanks for getting in touch with us. I'm sorry you're not happy with the price of LEGO sets in Canada. We consider lots of different factors when we're making out the right price for our toys. For example, we think about transfer costs, currency exchange rates, local laws and taxes, and the prices of other toys. As no two countries are the same, prices can vary from country to country. Recently, we have seen some big changes to custom regulations, so we're seeing higher taxes for items traveling into Canada, and because all sets for North America come from our warehouse in the United States, sets shipping within the US don't have these additional taxes added onto the set price like for Canada. It's super important for us to us, LEGO toys are priced fairly for our fans around the world. So I'll let the team know that that takes care of pricing. Know your comments. Overall, this isn't one I'm looking at. So if taxes were higher on sets that go into Canada, wouldn't we see other sets get an increase in price point? But we aren't seeing that, in a lot of the sets that you would consider for kids, the sets that are 7 and up, upwards to 14 and up. You're not seeing many of these sets have this same issue. So in actuality, like I said, this is targeting older Canadian fans, the ones that are going to purchase large amounts of sets more so than kids. And don't make no mistake about it, kids are definitely a large market for LEGO, but I think LEGO has really realized that the overall adult community can be just if not even more profitable. That's why they've started to do these 18 plus lineup sets. I have no doubt in my mind that taxes and import duties could definitely play a role, but when we see that across all sets, it's not like LEGO is importing these sets one at a time. They're sending in thousands in shipments that are then distributed to LEGO stores across Canada. If LEGO has to pay higher taxes, it stands to reason that all LEGO sets would have some sort of increase, or at least a level of increase, but we don't. So is LEGO losing all this money on these smaller sets and making it back on the bigger purchases? If that was the case, I think we would say LEGO was in a lot of trouble, since I doubt Canada is the only place with this issue. But obviously, as a Canadian LEGO fan, I have more connection to this particular issue. So Ryan from MandRProductions mentioned that as Canadians, we do get significant savings on the UCS Star Destroyer and the UCS Millennium Falcon, which is fair. As exchange rate, at the exchange rate price, it would have put the set well over $1,000 Canadian, and I don't think LEGO wanted to have a set that expensive, so they decided to basically, I don't know if you'd say lose some money on it, depending on their profit margins on these LEGO sets, but they probably just felt it would be too cost prohibitive to buy in Canada if they set it too high. Now, we should also mention that the UCS Star Destroyer came out in 2017, so like I said, that's why I mostly wanted to focus on sets that released in the past 2 years more so, because those are more of an indicator of the trend that I have been seeing personally. And again, since this set has been out for so many years, it's not really fair, since when it was priced, it probably was still maybe closer in price than what it is today. In addition, I think we have to be clear that, I don't think it's necessarily fair for LEGO to jack up the prices so much in Canada on sets that are more likely to be purchased. If we're looking at a set that is priced at $300, it's far more likely to sell than a set at $800, if we're just being honest here. So in many ways, LEGO is using almost a decoy marketing tactic where they have priced the other sets in a way that they aren't likely to be purchased by the general public, while the cheaper expensive set has a higher opportunity to be purchased. So by them pricing the UCS Gunship $30 more, it's far more likely to get purchased, especially now, than the UCS Star Destroyer, for an example. But now they're still making extra money than they probably ethically should be, based on how the other sets are being priced. Now, this isn't the only set. I'll bring up a lot of other examples, including ones, the sets that I feel are being priced fairly, and kind of go against that response I received from LEGO in the email. The first set we'll be looking at is the LEGO Star Wars R2-D2. As you can see, it is priced at $199.99, and that is the United States price. When these sets are released, I like to, or first announced, I generally like to estimate what the Canadian price would be, because normally we get the US price and we never really get the Canada price early. At least that's in my experience. I haven't really seen the Canadian price ever kind of leaked for sets like these until they're announced or on the website. But I would probably expect this set to be priced at, say, $250 to $260. In actuality, this set was priced at $269.99 or 270 Canadian dollars. Now, when you convert the 200 US dollars, that amounts to about $253 and however many cents. Now, that generally, to me, would suggest they've kind of upscaled the price about $10 more expensive than it probably needed to be. Realistically, I feel like the set could have been priced at $259.99 and would have been a far fairer price for the set. The next set we'll be looking at is the LEGO NASA Space Shuttle Discovery set, which is part of LEGO's Creator Expert lineup. So as you can see, it is also priced at $199.99 in the United States, and it has the same Canadian price at $269.99. The reason I bring up this set, even though it's the same price as the R2-D2 set, is for those that might argue that, a Star Wars set, because of the licensing with Disney and Lucasfilm before that, might have a higher, might upscale its price to, pay for the licensing, essentially. But, this set, while using the NASA logo, I think we could agree the chances of NASA charging as much as Disney may charge for the Star Wars licensing, it's probably not going to be as much. Now, again, that is speculation, but I found it interesting that these sets were priced at the same price point. Now we reach the only playset that I'll be covering in this negative price point lineup, which was the basis of my comment to MandRProductions. As you can see, the LEGO Star Wars Bad Batch attached shuttle is priced at $99.99 in the United States. In Canada, this set is priced at $139.99, which is obviously a significant increase when you factor in the conversion, puts the set at $126.89, so roughly $126 to $127, which suggests to me the set realistically could have been priced at $129.99 and would have been a fairer price. Next, we get to the Infinity Gauntlet, and this is a great set, and is priced at $69.99 in the United States. So what is the Canadian price, you might ask? For the low price of $100 in Canada, you can have the Infinity Gauntlet. Now, with the conversion, putting the set in American dollars transferred into Canadian at $80.82, you can see that LEGO has really increased the price here on this set. Now again, I feel like a $90 price point for Canada would have been far fairer for this set and for the next set that I'll be covering, which is of course the Darth Vader helmet. In general, I feel like the Darth Vader helmet was overpriced to begin with in both America. I feel like this set should have simply been the same price as the other sets were, which was $59.99 in the United States and $79.99 in Canada. In actuality, this set was priced at $69.99 in the United States, while in Canada, it again was priced at $100. And like I said, you can see the increase in the price point of the set being about $12 more expensive than you might be expected to pay when converted in the set. And now we get to the big one, and really the entire reason I finally committed to making this video, which is the LEGO Batmobile Tumbler, which is the upcoming set that hasn't even released yet. It will probably release in a few days by the time I upload this video. As you can see, it is priced at $229.99 in the United States. And what might be the Canadian price of this set, you might ask? $329.99 Canadian. Now, when you convert this set is when you start to see the big issue I have with this price. This set at $229.99 in the United States would probably, or realistically really should have been $300 or $299.99. As you can see, the conversion shows $291.87. That is why I feel like the $300 price point would have been far fairer for this set and would have put it in line with the previous 1989 Batmobile set. Now, I must say, while I don't have the picture of the conversion, LEGO did underprice the Batmobile in Canada in comparison to what it priced in the United States, meaning Americans did spend a bit more on the 1989 Batmobile than they will be spending on the Tumblr, for whatever reason. Still, even if that's the case, I feel like this shows that LEGO really needs to figure out how to price their sets properly so this issue doesn't happen, where, I believe when you converted the United States price, they were paying about 310 Canadian, while Canadians were, of course, only spending $300 on the set. So it just goes to show you that, in general, even if you don't think Canada has an overall problem, I think LEGO's pricing needs an overhaul in some way because it's just all over the place depending on what set it is, and it's not always related to licensing. Now, with that being said, I don't think this is a problem across all LEGO sets. Like I said, aside from the Bad Batch Shuttle, which was mentioned in the MandRProductions video, that clip that I included, generally the play sets are priced fairly, and I'm going to be showing that next. The first set we'll be looking at is the LEGO Star Wars Mandalorian Starfighter. As you can see, it is priced at $59.99 in the United States, while in Canada it is priced at $79.99 Canadian. So basically like how the helmet sets have been priced in the past. And when you convert the $60 American into Canadian dollars, it is about $76.13. So upselling it to $79.99, not going to have an issue with that price. Next, we have probably one of the best Marvel sets ever made by LEGO, which is the LEGO Guardians ship. As you can see, it is priced at $149.99 in America, while in Canada, it is priced at $189.99. And as you can see, based on the day that I chose to copy and paste this image into, it is priced at $190.34 when converting the American price. So we're saving a few cents, roughly, on average, on this set in Canada. And I still feel like that is a very fair price. LEGO could have set the price at $200 And frankly, I probably wouldn't have even included it in this set, but I just wanted to show that I feel like when a set is priced like this is kind of what I'm hoping for on sets like these. And I'm not saying this to seem like, oh, I want Canadians to always pay less, but it's nice when we do pay less on sets like these. Next, we have the Rise of the Domo Marvel Eternal set. As you can see, I've been working on this video for a while, considering when I saved this image. And as you can see, in the United States, it is priced at $89.99, while in Canada, it has been priced at 120 Canadian dollars. And when doing the conversion, you can see 90 American dollars translates to $114.20 as of September 12th. So you can kind of get the idea that it's roughly about $5 to $6 more expensive to buy in Canada. Again, I'm not going to complain about these type of differences. As I covered the upcoming large Batmobile Tumblr, I feel it's only fair I covered the released Playscale Tumblr. My apologies. As you can see, it's been priced at $39.99 US, while in Canada it has been priced at $49.99. And then when converting the set, you can see again, Canadians are roughly saving a little bit of money when you look at conversion rates. You know, like I said, it'll fluctuate a lot. It'll go up, it'll go down. But you can see we're roughly saving at least about 50 to 75 cents on average on this set compared to what Americans will pay. You know, Lego could have upscaled it. They could have priced it at $54.99 Canadian. They could have priced it at $59.99 Canadian. People would have still bought it. But as you can see, Lego did price it correctly at a Playscale version, which again is a big deal in my mind. So, what do the overpriced sets have in common? Like I said, they are all targeting 18 plus fans, other than the one set being the Bad Batch Shuttle. I'm not even arguing the US price of some of these sets, but I'm arguing the difference between the US to the Canadian price. That to me is a big issue. You know, as a Lego fan, I would love to buy the UCS Tumblr, the Space Shuttle, the UCS Gunship, and even the upcoming AT-AT. And being realistic, I might be able just to get one, which is more than many, I'm sure, but I just think that is an issue, you know. When you add all these increases up, it becomes very significant. I'll just show an example. Say I purchased the UCS Gunship, the Space Shuttle, and the upcoming Tumblr. I'll pay $1,079.97. If the sets were priced closer to their US counterparts, I'd pay $972.46, which is the Lego sets at a spot-for-spot conversion. So let's round that up to $989.97, where the Gunship would be priced at $439.99, the Space Shuttle at $249.99, and the Tumblr at $299.99, which I made the same price as the Batmobile rather than $30 above that, when in actuality I probably could have priced it at $289.99. But like I said, we're going to give Lego the extra $13 for that set. So what is the difference in price? Well, it is $90 more expensive at the current price points, or basically the equivalent of buying the Central Perk set, the Ship in the Bottle set, or even 9 of the Stunt Bikers in those mini sets that Lego recently launched as part of the Lego Stunts. My point being, that is money that could have gone to more Lego. Let me know your thoughts down below. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at LEGO Dynasty, and don't forget to like and subscribe. This has been LEGO Dynasty. Have a great day, everyone.